Brandon,
Hello.
you called the other day on my business show, right?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
me.
Are you calling about the topic?
Yeah, it's about the intercultural or
Are you
interracial
dating?
relationship. Um, no, not right now.
Aren't you the guy that was living with your father?
Yeah, it's me.
Have you ever had a relationship?
Yeah, I've been in a relationship, but I had a specific question to
Okay.
you.
Go ahead.
Well, um, one guy I used to watch on YouTube, and also on BitChute, was very strong in his beliefs that the races like black and white should not date, because he felt like there
What's the
was
question?
well, do you think that black men and white women should be able
What do you
to
think? What do you think?
marry or
How
the
about
date?
this? What do you think?
Well, I personally, I think that it's if there's the love, then yes. But I'm realizing there's a
Okay,
large
okay, okay,
cultural
okay, okay,
amount of
okay. And the
people
reason I
who,
asked the question that way, then why does it matter what I think or why the guy on BitChute thinks?
well, I think that you want to discuss taboo
No, I know, no,
topics,
no. I
and
asked you. I don't want to see. You're a guy that's trying to find answers, and you need to find answers for yourself. You spend a
yeah,
lot of
well,
time on.
I
Hold on.
am.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I know who you are. You've called into my show on other days outside that. You spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
You need
true.
to go spend time. And I told you, you live at home with your father, and you're the guy who's working the unskilled jobs, menial labor.
Yeah.
You've got to, why are you spending so much time online looking for answers for life that you don't have?
Lazy.
Well, I mean, I figure that the more understanding I
No,
have, the
no,
better I
no.
can
What you
do.
it's called
I,
analysis paralysis. You're mentally masturbating because this is as close. See, life happens outside, Brandon. You're 27 years old. And you shouldn't be living at home with your father. There's no way you should still be trying to get yourself together, working as a librarian, a sandwich artist at Subway, a landscaper, this or that. You're lost. And you spend your time listening to a lot of content versus doing some shit for yourself. Turn off the internet, plug into life. You're too broke to be listening to this much YouTube.
I mean, I feel like you're
I
right.
don't,
At the same
dude,
time,
I feel.
yeah.
Men don't feel, we think and we know. This isn't a debate, man.
Okay. I was just calling to talk about the
Right. But what I'm
the
saying is you have no business. Okay. Did you hear what I said? You shouldn't even be calling. You should be focusing on getting your shit together instead of worrying about what some guy on BitChute has to say about interracial dating, then asking me what I think about it when I said, well, what do you think about it? All that should matter is what you think about it. Are you actively dating a white woman right now? Then
no,
what does it matter? Then
but
listen. Then it doesn't matter. You're wasting time on stuff that's not here, and your right now life is not together. You're just wasting time looking for issues, and the biggest issue is you in the mirror.
I mean, I feel like I'm addressing. I spend all day working. So I mean, what else are you
You spend
saying
all
that I
day. You
even
spend all
should
day working. You spend
do?
all day working. How much did you make today?
Today I made $90. Yesterday I made
$90.
$100. The day before I made
$90. Listen,
$125.
$90. And yesterday you made $100. Okay, so that's $500 a week at best. 5-day week. And you live in New York City or New Jersey?
I actually live with my dad in Long
Right.
Island. My
Okay.
mom
You
lives
live
in New
in New
York City.
York, New York City. Long Island is one of the boroughs.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I lived in Manhattan. You live with your,
Yeah, I
listen,
mean, mhm.
he made $500 a week. Can you afford an apartment?
At the moment,
That's all that
no, I
matters is at the
can't.
moment, sir.
I mean, okay, so how am I supposed to get from where you're saying is a great ideal to from where I am? Which try that's
Listen.
trying,
First thing you do is you listen. You have no skills at 27 years old. That's a problem that you caused. No one told you to not acquire skills the 10 years since did you drop out of high school?
no, I did. I
Okay, you
graduated.
graduated high school. So what have you been doing in the 9 years since you got out of high school?
Well, I went to SUNY Geneseo and SUNY Stony Brook, and at various times I was doing well. At various times I did poorly and I failed out, and then I went kind of like in a rebellious mode, and I traveled down to Florida, and then I came back home after a while of repenting that sort of rebellion, and then since then I've just been trying to build myself back up, and been working really hard and trying to
I mean,
find
working
odd
really
jobs,
hard.
and
Working really hard doing what?
well, I mean, comparatively, I guess I've been working hard compared to what I was
Well,
doing.
what
I
you
was
were
like
doing
very
was loser.
against. Well, I was at the time. I wouldn't have
Well,
defined
of
myself
course you
as a
wouldn't
loser
define
because
yourself
I
as a
would have
loser,
said
but
that.
that's what the world would define you as, a loser. A guy who graduated from high school and dibbled and dabbled in college until he flunked out and then went on a monk mission from here to Florida, hitchhiking there. That's what the world will call you, a loser. 25 years old living at home, you're a loser. That's what the world
Right,
says. That's what the world says, bro. And you're asking me, how do I get there? Well, the first thing you should do is leave out of your father's house. You have no real pressure on yourself. Your father's allowing you to be a loser. That's why you can spend time.
sure,
Yeah, he is. That's why you can spend time on his internet, on his Wi-Fi, listening to all these programs that you have no direct need for. You need a direct skill that can help you make more than $100 a damn day. That's what you need. You need a
yeah.
skill. What are you qualified to do?
I mean, I have now gotten 4. I know you were saying my gardening business, but I have 4 clients, and I think I'm going to have a lot more clients in the summer. And I think I'll have the work to
What?
make some.
So gardening doing COVID. Okay. Where did you go to learn to be a gardener?
Well, when I was I left that part out, but at one point before I went to Florida, I was living in Trinidad, and I got a permaculture design certificate, and that's kind of like similar, but really it's just
okay. And let's be honest, dude. There's not a lot of gardening work in New York City, in Long Island, or other. You aren't making any money. And the only reason you can delude yourself like this is because you live with your daddy.
okay. But how can I find a place to live? If I'm not making money.
Well, if you know what the real answer is, I should be talking to your father. I should be talking to your father and telling him, put your grown ass out. Because here's how you do it. Necessity breeds invention. How many hours did you work today?
I started at, well, I guess it doesn't sound so good. Well, I started at 12 and I finished at 7. But normally I start earlier. I just didn't have any work.
Okay. So you started at 12 and finished at 7. So you didn't even put in a full 8-hour day with your broke ass. And you should be putting in 16.
Yeah, I've never put in.
So how many different? So when are you going to start listening to the fact that, number one, you're lazy, unskilled, unmotivated?
Well, I mean, I guess
Well, you guess that's is that accurate or inaccurate? You put in a 7-hour day. Or do you make enough money to only work 7 hours?
I mean,
that's a yes or no question, sir.
I mean, no, I don't.
Then why did you stop working at 7 hours?
It's manual, like gardening labor. I don't
give a shit. Go get another job like the rest of us. I've had 3 or 4 jobs at one time. See, every time I ask you, there's always a woe is me excuse. It's because your father is paying the freight on your ass because you don't have to pay the rent, lights, phone, or groceries or anything. He's letting you stay here because he fears that if he'll let you go out, his son is going to die because you're not fit to make it in this world right now. That's sad. And that's on you. I'm not going to give you any excuses. There's nothing wrong with you. You graduated from high school. You got everything that everybody else has except for a fucking backbone and some ambition. I went through a rebellious phase. You know what you should have got as a rebellious phase? A fucking door locked in your face. Your rebellious ass should have either went to the military or be in the park somewhere. But there's no way you should be back in your father's house rebelling.
Well, I wouldn't have been let back in if I was still rebelling. But I mean, okay, I want to take as much responsibility as I can. And that's what I've been doing.
Then do it. Stop working 7 hours a day. Get off of YouTube. Stop watching BitChute. Stop doing all this. Go get 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, whatever you need to do. Move the fuck out. Live in a car. Live in a U-Haul somewhere. Go get roommates. Grow the fuck up, man. Move to a different state. Stop giving yourself so many excuses. How about this? You ready for this? This is what I really think you need. You want the solution to your life? I'll give it to you in one sentence. You ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Join the army.
I tried. I can't.
Why?
Because during my rebellious phase, No,
I don't.
I have HIV, so I can't. That's why.
Well, sorry to hear that, man. You got that on you.
I know I need discipline, and I can't count on my dad to do it.
If you know it, but before you need discipline, you need income. Why are you not working 12, 16-hour days?
I guess I'm just, I don't want to say I'm lazy because that doesn't feel right.
Well, that's what it is, bro. You don't want to say it because that's what it is. Called into my show on a completely different topic. So you see, your father should be doing this to you, but he fears for you. I don't. I fear for you if you don't do this. I fear for you if your father dies because you can't afford to take care of yourself. And they will let you be homeless with HIV. You can be out there with the rest of them. You're wasting time.
Well, I'm getting a car on Monday. Not to say I don't know if I'm just going to go live in a car, but I'm getting a car and that could help.
How's that going to help?
Because,
who's getting you a car?
One of my gardening clients who I worked with 2 days ago, I'm getting like 2 referrals every month.
Who is getting you a car?
One of my gardening clients' brother is giving me, I'm actually paying for a car by working, and he's going to give it to me, and I'm going to work over the next few months. It's only,
all right. So can you afford the insurance, gas, and the maintenance on this car?
I plan to. No. I'm telling you. I bought
all right, dude. All right. Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing.
And I'm going to sell it.
Listen. No. You don't need an expensive car. Mass transit is your friend. You're irresponsible and lazy. And every time I ask you is somebody has to do something for you. Somebody has to give you a car. You're closer to 30 than you are to 20. I don't care. Here's what you do. You get up tomorrow morning and you put in applications at every fast food place in your neighborhood that you can walk to or ride a bus to. You go to every place that's hiring and you put in applications. Stock Boy Groceries, every place you see a legal Mexican go, you have your ass there too. You apply it everywhere because you have citizenship. And then after you apply at every one of the businesses in your 5-mile, 10-mile radius, you take your ass down to the day labor center and you stand out there with the rest of the illegal immigrants and you work for day labor. Or go to a Home Depot. You got too much pride to be this damn broke. You do whatever you have to do. That's what men do. Instead of somebody always having to do something for you. You want it to be easy. You want it to happen on your way. Well, how am I supposed to get there? Ain't my job to figure out your life. All I know is this. You don't make enough money to be working 7 hours a day. That's your fucking problem. And calling me up, asking me about what some motherfucker on BitChute said about interracial dating, and what I think is one of the craziest fucking things I can think of for somebody in your position. You're deluded. Has nothing to do with your life. Has your father ever told you this?
Told me what?
That you need to get your shit together.
He doesn't have it together enough to tell me that.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
My dad doesn't have his stuff together at all, so he doesn't have the awareness.
Okay. So the place you live in, who pays for it?
My mom. My dad probably is about to lose this place if it was up to him. I'm just saying, it's true.
You live with your father?
Yeah, I live in my family house where I grew up, but my mom lives in Harlem. And, if it wasn't for her bailing him out, there's property taxes and mortgages that were laid on that would probably it would have been game over.
Are your mother and father married?
Yeah, they're married, but they're not really together.
Well, I didn't ask if they were together. What was the question?
Yes, they're married.
So what's hers is his?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the nerve of you to say he doesn't have his shit together. He has a wife. You don't. He has a wife that he picked well enough to allow his son, who's a deadbeat, to stay with him. And you're judging him.
I'm just telling you what she tells me.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what she says to him. I'm telling you what I'm telling you. You judged your father. He doesn't have his shit together. That's not the real point. You don't have your shit together. See, I ask questions because I read people for a living. And for you to come out of your mouth saying something about your father, you're way out of part. You don't have any room to be judging anybody, dude. Zero. Your number, that's why I said at the beginning, you need to get off the internet, stop worrying about all this other stuff, and get your shit together. But you actually said, my dad doesn't have his stuff together, so he can't tell me anything. Really?
You asked me how, I didn't have the backbone. I asked him
if he told you need to get your shit together. That's what I asked you. That's what I asked you.
And I was
okay,
man.
Well, so what I'll tell you what I tell you. Don't talk over me, dude. You too broke to afford to pay a session, so when you don't talk over me. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. You do this shit with your dad, not me.
I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck what your father's situation is, your mother's situation. I don't care what your situation is. You're still responsible for yourself. All you got is a bunch of goddamn excuses. But you're going to stop calling my show with this bullshit, I tell you that. I've told you what you need to do. Because if your father were to pass, if your mother were to pass, could you pay the rent on the place you live right now?
No.
Then that's all you need to be worried about. That's the only fucking thing that needs to be on your mind. Not how fucked up your HIV status is, not all the mistakes you made, not what your daddy did, not what your mama did. The fact that you can't even pay for the roof over your goddamn head. If one of these two people who were in the coronavirus situation in New York, where everybody else died. It's the only thing that needs to be coming out your mouth. That needs to be your only North Star. You as a grown damn 27-year-old man can't even pay for a roof over your head. And you got the nerve to be calling into YouTube shows? Listening to BitChute videos?
Okay. Sure.
What you gonna say to that? Other than you're right.
That's what I'm saying. I guess there's a reason I'm calling you. I respect what you're saying, and I know that
how you show you respect it? Go do what I said. Put in applications around you. Get your pride to the side and stop being so goddamn proud. Go get a job. Go get as many jobs as you can get. Because you have no skills. Because you're gonna tell me you got a skill to do some yard work down in Jamaica somewhere. I told you when you called into the show, you need some sort of certification because you're an unskilled labor, dude. You're unskilled labor. People swim the Rio Grande to do and come do the same jobs. You're a fruit picker. You have no skills. None. Zero. And you're wasting time. You're almost 30 years old with HIV. No skills. Who in the fuck is supposed to take care of an unskilled laborer in your situation?
No, I want to take care of myself.
How? You have skills to make minimum wage. You can lie to yourself, but you make $90 a day, $100. That's minimum. That's really minimum wage in your area.
There was a guy who
Dude, there's no talking. All right, man, I'm done. No. You still want to talk? You'll be in a.
I was just talking.
Yeah, get a ditch somewhere. Nope. We've allowed young guys like this to be too lazy for too long, and sometimes life's got to teach you. He lives in Long Island, and all it is excuses. You're broke. See, when we were younger, we didn't have the internet and all these distractions. We had to get out. There was no come stay in the house and get your shit together. Nope. Yeah, some people need to fall apart. Yeah, sadly, and I understand. And before people may think that's a little harsh, I was alcohol and drug counselor. I've heard I've heard worse, far worse. He's in denial. He has to hit his rock bottom. He's looking for answers, but the answer is in order to get better, you must admit you are powerless over alcohol or drugs. You got to admit. Then you got to do the steps. Age you finally get it, still working on it. You keep on getting it. Yeah, I've had 100 jobs. Yeah, that's right, dude. Ashley says I had 100 jobs. See, yeah, because men, where I come from, we work. We work. A man is what you do. That's why, and all those 100 jobs means I can turn on the YouTube at any moment and be talking and be consistent. I'm never satisfied with just doing this. Because a man is supposed to get out there and make shit happen. Even if he has nothing, he's supposed to make something. Powerless over your addiction. I don't begrudge anybody anyway. Let me round this back to the broadcast. Taboo topics. All our taboo topics, all our taboo issues, where we tend to stand in our own way. Somebody asked, when did you get your stuff together? When I finally stopped being in my own way. Start admitting that I didn't know everything, that I could be wrong, that I was misunderstood. When I looked at my acceptance and abandonment issues, this issue, that issue, whatever, when I forgave myself, forgave people I need to forgive, allow myself to make mistakes, not be so hard on myself, but demand the best for myself. Wash, rinse, repeat. Nobody gets out of this life without a bunch of mud on us and dents and dings. We all doing the best we can. But the problem is we got to do the best. But as a man, you don't get anybody saying it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. I understand what the young man was saying. And his mother and father care for him. But the world just looks at you as just a soul. And that's a hard, bitter pill to swallow. But swallow it you must. And you guys have to understand. I've had multiple shows. He's called in multiple days. He called on Tuesday for a business show. He didn't book a session. He didn't go to my website and book a session. Okay. All right. No, he doesn't need guidance. Now he's beyond needing guidance. He needs a foot in his ass. That's why I said the military. The military is a good place for a lot of these dudes. Manhood is what a lot of these dudes need. No more guidance. Guidance is you need to do this. Guidance doesn't talk about and let you talk your way through. The basic training and the foot in your ass has done a hell of a lot for men. That's why you see guys who go to basic training and come back, they go in as boys and come out as men.